Hey there, gorgeous. So I'm making this video, but the folks who really need to see this, they're never gonna see it. But I just need to get this off my chest, because maybe somebody will see it that needs to see it. So I saw a video earlier that reported that Lindsey Graham had said, we're doing all this stuff in Iran because we're gonna make a lot of money. Man, we're gonna make a lot of money. Okay. Why do we want to make a lot of money? Why do we want to do anything? Like, usually we want something because we think we'll feel better in the having of it. We will feel relief, or we will feel some extra joy, or we'll feel loved, or we'll feel content or satisfied that we're moving in the direction of some sort of legacy. But what happens when someone who has millions or billions is still chasing more and putting people in harm's way for it? It tells you that it doesn't work. It doesn't work to fulfill, satisfy, create more joy, to find things outside of yourself, to the point where millions is not enough. Being on TV shows is not enough. Being the richest guy in the world is not enough. Having all the young women you ever wanted is not enough. It tells you the strategy doesn't work, because if more meant more peace, the people with the most would be the most peaceful, and they're not. They're not satisfied at all. When power is involved, when policy and decisions are driven by power and greed and this mindset of more and more and more, then real people get hurt. Real people pay the price. At some point, we have to ask ourselves, where does real fulfillment actually come from, and who are we trusting to lead us? And what do they think their source of abundance is, or their source of satisfaction? So look, I have enjoyed a successful career in sales in my life. I have a good relationship with sales. I don't hate sales or anything like that. I don't feel like I'm scamming anybody. And that's because I know what my source of abundance is. I know that my source, capital S source, is God. And I show up to the table like that. I've literally showed up to tables where people tried to insist I take a $30,000 check for a program I did not want to be in with them because they were jerks, or whatever the reason. Maybe they weren't qualified to be in, but they wanted the results of whatever the program promised. And I could say, you know what? This is not for you. And if they were jerks and tried to insist that I take their check, and they tried to say, you rely on this commission, like you don't want to miss this commission on this $30,000 sale, I can say, you know what? You're not my source of abundance, capital S source. You are not my source of abundance. You're not my source of happiness. This program is not for you. It's going to be okay. You're going to find what is out there for you. This one's not it. And I could be a gatekeeper with integrity and discernment, because I knew where my real abundance comes from, and I knew where my happiness and fulfillment comes from. Likewise, I have also sat at a sales table where I was in the funeral industry, and I sold cemetery plots and funerals, and I actually loved that job and loved that role. But many times people were on the other side of the table on the worst day of their lives with their arms folded in defensive, guarded mode, like, don't you dare sell me, don't you oversell me. And even their answers to my questions came across like that, to where I could finally just put my pen down and say, hey, look, you're not my source of abundance. God is my source of abundance. I'm here to help you on the worst day of your life. And let's just get down to honoring your loved one the best we can at whatever rate you can afford. And with that, shoulders dropped and a deep breath was taken, and people knew that I had their best interests in mind. All this to say, it's really important to know who is selling you. Grant Cardone wrote a book called Sell or Be Sold, and he put in there that, you know, everything is sales. Even a 2-year-old trying to talk you into something at the grocery store, you have to decide, are you being sold, or are you the one selling? And, you know, some of that just takes some knowledge of what you expect in your life, like what's the philosophy of your life, and knowing what your source of abundance is and your source of prosperity and joy is. And it's not anything outside of yourself. Unfortunately, I'm preaching to the choir here, I'm sure, but I hope this helps you inform your own voting down the road, because what just happened in the past couple of years, y'all were sold by people who don't think God is their source of abundance, and nothing is ever going to be enough, and no cost of life will faze them. Okay, I think I've made my point. Take care.